So when we were planning this event, we weren't sure what to call it. It couldn't be a graduation, but we needed to recognize and celebrate the journey that we have been on together and to mark this passage. We're calling it a commencement, which is a beginning. Though in keeping with our characteristic shared history, we're moving into an unknown future. We've become champions at living with ambiguity and uncertainty while demonstrating an improvisational spirit and determination. The idea of NonStop came out of a year of waiting for the agreements of principles to be concluded, for the negotiations between the ACCC and the University Board of Trustees to be resolved. This community is filled with people unable to be passive waiters. The idea of an Antioch in exile took shape in discussions among students, faculty, and staff, unwilling to accept the legitimacy of the closing of the college. In the beginning, it seemed like a wacky idea, an impossible dream, but it was an idea that gathered momentum and received an unqualified endorsement from the Alumni Board in February 2008. We evolved into the NonStop Institute for Liberal Arts when we were disallowed to use the name Antioch. But here we are, a year later, having created and implemented an educational enterprise from scratch, guided by idealism, a sense of possibility, and common purpose. We have so many to thank for our successes. The Alumni Board and the College Revival Fund for their time, energy, devotion to Antioch College, and their faith in and support of the NonStop project. The staff of the CRF who worked hard to raise money to fund the project. The Pro Tem Board who have taken on the incredible challenge of creating an independent Antioch College in dire economic times and who are carrying forward the dream of a reopened, reinvigorated college. The virtual community of alumni who are constantly present with us through streaming and participating on listservs. Tim Noble, Michael Caselli, and Jerry Bello, who gave up their lives and other places to join us in Yellow Springs, and who respectively designed our technology infrastructure and designed and built our headquarters at Millworks. We couldn't have done this without you. The staff who brought their experience and dedication to the college, to their work at NonStop, who demonstrated great flexibility and a heroic ability to function effectively in an environment filled with uncertainty. The faculty who wouldn't say quit, who rose to the challenge of teaching without walls, who are willing to experiment and test ideas to bring their passions to the design of courses that engage multi-generational communities of students. To quote Hassan Rahmanian, our education became our action. Excuse me. The executive collective who stepped into positions of leadership of this unstable floating vessel on a journey to an uncertain future. They have demonstrated for all of us the persistence of vision and effort it takes to realize dreams. NonStop has become a living model of the possibilities of creative action and the forging of agency. Thank you to the students who believed in us and brought their deep love of the college and their commitment to carrying forward those principles, who participated in the hard work of transforming the dream of an inclusive, dynamic, and radical community into reality, who brought their energy and vision and heart, their willingness to risk, who reminded us constantly that this was what our mission was about. Thank you to the people from the village who joined our classrooms with such enthusiasm and contributed so much to creating rich and fun and compelling learning. I'm reserving a big thank you to our community managers. Rowan Kaiser came back last year and was a big ally in us creating NonStop. Foster Neal was here in the summer. Corey Froelich came in the fall to contribute her particular brand of intuitive analysis of group dynamics and an awesome level of organization. Chelsea Martins is perhaps the first two-term community manager in Antioch history, staying throughout this year to provide courageous leadership and wisdom. She has worked constantly to keep alive the legacy and practice of self-governance. Chelsea has been instrumental in weaving this community together by facilitating our weekly community meetings, organizing events, and inviting us to play together. Megan Pergram came in January to fulfill her destiny as community manager. She initiated great collaborations with area universities and colleges, resulting in the Black History Soiree and the Hip Hop Convergence, in addition to her dedicated work with the NonStop community. They are all examples of how Antioch College and now NonStop's commitment to democratic participation and self-governance produces exemplary leaders. On to the list of thank yous. Thank you to the people who so generously offered their homes as classrooms. Thank you to the churches and community spaces who opened their doors to us, hosting events, classes, and public events. Thank you to the community organizations who collaborated with us to offer programs and workshops. Thank you to the Emporium who gave us a home before we had a home and where the best of our plans were hatched. Thank you to the people who rented us space and supported our vision and needs. Thank you to Diane Chittister and the Yellow Springs News, who came often to collect our stories about the NonStop project and acknowledged and celebrated our efforts in sensitive articles and editorials. Your support and encouragement helped to sustain the courage you credited us with. I know she's here. To our own communications team, which captured our energy and spirit so accurately on our webpage, in print, in video dispatches, in visual imagery, and helped to place our endeavor within the larger discourse about the future of higher education. Thanks especially goes to Migawa Orimo for her tireless work, invention, and creativity on our behalf. This is evidence. Thanks to the volunteers who helped us move, hung drywall, painted, wired, cataloged books in the library, organized exhibitions, and did countless other tasks. Thanks to the alumni and other academics and artists who contributed to a rich and diverse NonStop Present schedule of events, and the committee that worked hard to create it. And thanks to all of you who attended NonStop events and donated time and dollars to our endeavor, who provided support and encouragement throughout all the twists and turns of the past 2 years, who voiced your appreciation for the ways that NonStop enriched the intellectual and cultural life of the community. We thank you for being part of this adventure. And now let me introduce Al Denman, Emeritus Faculty of Antioch College, who will lead us in the invocation.